17-year-old Trinity Bostik was not the sort of teenager one would expect to run away from home. But in the summer of 2024, that is exactly what she did. Her decision caught everyone, friends and family alike, by surprise. Concern turned to panic as the days wore on. Her cell phone went off the network, and for a time, Trinity seemed to have disappeared into the new life she had sought. There was one person, however, who had been aware of her secret plans, and unfortunately, he had also made some devious ones of his own. Hi there, I'm Kevin, and welcome to Just Thought Lounge. Today's case is a difficult one. It is a strange and heartbreaking story. In the end, there is so much evidence that it is clear what occurred and who was responsible. Yet, throughout this story of unpredictable behaviors and odd decisions, there is much that is difficult to comprehend. Let's take a look. Just over an hour's drive northeast of Nashville is Lafayette in Macon County, Tennessee. The area is known for the Winding Stairs Nature Trails and Park, as well as Red Barn, the name of a notable winery and vineyard. In the summer of 2024, Trinity Bostik ran a vehicle repair and body shop in Lafayette. He had a passion for classic cars that he shared with his teenage daughter, 17-year-old Trinity Bostik. Trinity had just completed her junior year at Macon High School and worked evenings and weekends with her father. On Saturday, June 29th, the two spent the morning working together. Trinity's welding that day earned her the praise of her father. He was keen to get her started on a classic pickup truck just after lunch. But Trinity had other plans. She asked if instead she could finish with some yard work at home. Her father agreed and dropped her back at the house. When Timothy returned home around 4 p.m. that day, his daughter's car was parked in its usual place. Her keys were inside the house, but Trinity was gone. Timothy tried calling and received no answer. He sent his first text message at 4:03 that afternoon. It read simply, "Answer the phone." 2 minutes later, "Hello?" 3 minutes after that, "Hello?" It was not typical of Trinity to leave without informing her father of her whereabouts. She told him that her plan was to move some brush they had already cleared from the property out to a nearby woodland and return home. Her last message to her father suggested this was the case. At 2:08 p.m., she had written, "Home, I love you." Yet, just 2 hours later, she was not responding. At 4:10, "Are you okay?" 4:13, "Hello?" 4:17, "Okay, going to call the cops." And this is in fact exactly what Timothy did. It was so unlike his daughter to be absent and out of contact that he reached out to the local sheriff's office immediately and reported her missing. The frantic father also continued to message, "Where are you? At least let me know you're okay." At 5 o'clock, he received a single-line response from Trinity's phone. It read only, "I am okay. Sorry." Subsequent messages that night asking her what she was doing failed to elicit a response. The next morning, after speaking with the sheriff's office, family members, and friends, he wrote to his daughter, "Call me. I'm worried about you. Everybody is worried about you." The Macon County Sheriff's Office determined Trinity was a teenage runaway. Before she left home, the 17-year-old told friends that she was leaving and starting a new life.
She actually had texted me that she was running away from home, but I didn't believe it at all until the sheriff's department for Macon County, which is where I live, came knocking on my door. I tried calling her like 32 times that night, and knowing Trinity, she would have answered at least one of those phone calls.
Trinity Bostik was the youngest child in a large family. On her mother's side, she had 2 brothers and 3 sisters. On her father's side, another 3 brothers. That autumn, Trinity was due to begin her senior year at Macon High. The teen had a handful of very close friends. They said that she was always joking around. On Trinity's YouTube channel, she often showed her quirky side, but also frequently she was contemplative, keen to reflect on life and her dreams for the future.
And today let's talk about relationships. Okay, what do you think is the one thing that's needed in a relationship?
These guys, they make me want to throw the Bible at their forehead. I feel like life gets easier once you forgive. Don't forget though, so that you don't make the same mistakes you did in the past. Like the only times I be on my phone is just watching dumb videos of cats. I just feel like if all of us learn to forgive, we would have happier lives. But it's getting really cold out here. Anywho, if you're a previous watcher, thank you for joining back. If you're new, please like and subscribe. Alright, bye guys.
Trinity spoke of her dreams for the future. She told family about her goals of joining the army and earning a law degree. These dreams were certainly within reach. The teenager was intelligent and, like her father, had an excellent work ethic.
And today I would like to talk about how to save money as a teen. You're asking, why? Why are you putting this out here? Because I want to help you build the best version of you while I'm building the best version of myself. Look, I'm not the smartest with my money, but I have learned this from my amazing father who has taught me a lot. So I want to spread that with you guys. I believe we can all do it. If you say you can't do something, you're going to set yourself a limit that only you can put yourself as. If you tell yourself you can do it, you won't have no limits. You will outcome every situation out there.
On July 3rd, a Tennessee Department of Transportation worker picking up trash along Vietnam Veterans Boulevard in Hendersonville discovered human remains. The location was near Exit 6 on Veterans Parkway, which is also known as State Route 386. The remains were found just inside the tree line, next to the roadway. A pair of distinct broken eyeglasses were found nearby. An autopsy performed the following day determined that the individual had sustained a bullet wound to the head and neck. It would be the following day before an identification was made. They had found Trinity Bostik. She was discovered wearing gray jogging pants slightly pulled down below her waist, her midriff partially exposed. She wore a green tank top. There were items at the scene that indicated the murder had taken place in the woods, that Trinity had not been moved. 2 9mm rounds, 1 spent casing, and 1 live round were on the ground. The casing was within only 2 feet of Trinity. Investigators speculated that the live round marked the position of the shooter. Whether it had been dropped accidentally or something had occurred with the weapon was uncertain. The fatal shot had a downward trajectory, suggesting the shooter stood while Trinity was squatting or sitting in the position where she remained. A t-shirt was located at the scene, hanging from a tree. It was Trinity's. She could be seen wearing it in one of her tutorial videos while doing her hair and makeup.
If you're a new viewer, please like and subscribe. If you're a reoccurring one, thank you for joining back. Anywho, bye.
Trinity's cell phone was missing. It had been disconnected from the network by unknown means by the morning of June 30th.
Just said, couldn't deliver. And it was like, I think that's when I kind of knew that something had happened. It felt like my world fell apart.
It doesn't feel real at all. It's just very hard.
For someone who was so loving and caring, that was undeserved.
Though her device was missing, investigators were able to obtain Trinity's phone data from her cellular provider. They began to piece together where she had been on the afternoon that she went missing on June 29th. What they uncovered was a secret plan, a clandestine relationship, and a teen who was so infatuated that she was willing to give up a loving, supportive family for her teenage romance. Her plan, put simply, was to run off with her love. They would steal a car, commit robbery for money, and disappear into a new life together. Fernando Perales Mejia, 17 years old and also a student at Macon High, picked up Trinity in his car that afternoon, and they started driving. Bits and pieces of their plan were captured in the messages they had exchanged days earlier. On June 25th, Trinity wrote, "Baby, just come with me, please. I need you." What are you thinking of? Either conning people or just straight up robbing places. We could, but then the police would get my license plate number, and then I'm effed, unless we steal a car and take my car back home and just leave with the stolen one. That sounds a lot smarter. We can switch out the plates with someone else's somewhere along the way, because I'm going to leave in a few days. I'm going to Alabama. 2 days later, the conversation continued. Do you know that we're going to have to take the car at night? Yes, I know. Then, 2 days following that, the details having been hammered out, Fernando reached out to ask if they were going to go through with it. It was the afternoon of the 29th, and he wanted to know if he should pick Trinity up at the church near her home. Hello, are you ready? Give me a couple, I'm not even home, Trinity wrote. Should I go ahead and go to the church or meet you somewhere else? Trinity responded, be at the church. Her father reported her missing roughly 3 hours later. The fanciful plan hatched by the teenagers was not the only thing uncovered by their messages. The two had clearly been carrying on a physical relationship. On June 20th, Trinity wrote, by the way, I'm not pregnant from the last time. Just thought you should know. Okay, good, ML, was the reply. According to family, after they began dating 2 years earlier at the age of 15, Trinity had ended her relationship with Fernando. She told her father that they were no longer an item because he had cheated on her. Additionally, she shared stories with her sister of him exhibiting otherwise awful, even abusive behavior towards her. Her family did not care for Fernando.
How do you reply to the I miss you text? So you wake up, right? You wake up, you look on your phone, and you have a text from a guy who hurt you in the past, and he says he misses you. But at the time, he didn't miss you, you know? Because he had a whole other distraction. So how do we respond with that? Like, in 2024, we really need to focus on ourselves, and we really need to, set boundaries and standards and put our fucking foot down. That's what we need to do, is stomp on the ground with our foot.
Detectives paid a visit to Fernando's home in Hendersonville. They came carrying a search warrant for both his family home and his car. Fernando began by downplaying his connection with Trinity. He stated that he had not seen or spoken with her in years. Indeed, he subtly attempted to distance himself from the tragedy of her murder by referring to her case as the thing on the news.
Do you know Trinity?
What Trinity?
Bostic?
Bostic?
Yeah.
Oh, the thing on the news?
Yeah.
Fernando was not yet aware that his correspondence with Trinity had been uncovered, revealing their plan to be together. And the cell phone data obtained by detectives contained more than just messages. It showed locations and tracked their movements together on the day she went missing.
Last person that saw her alive.
No, I didn't see her. She called me.
She called you?
Yeah, she called me.
I'm gonna shoot you straight. I'm gonna shoot you straight, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I know she came here.
She came here?
Yeah, I know she came here. Not only do I know she came here, I know you picked her up.
Where?
You picked her up in Lafayette.
While the interview was taking place, law enforcement was actively searching through Fernando's room. In his closet, they found a go bag. Inside were items that belonged to Trinity, a pair of pants and her AirPods. On the top shelf, tucked underneath other items, was a debit card carrying the name Trinity Bostik. Fernando denied he was with her on the 29th. He claimed instead that he spent the day with his new girlfriend, a young woman named Michaela.
I need for you to tell me what happened. And I need for you, because so far you've lied, right? So far you've lied about everything.
Senior?
About everything. I'm calling her. You said you haven't called her in 2 years, haven't spoke to her. But you have, because I got you picking her up and bringing her back to your house. All right?
I didn't pick her up or anything. She just called me about staying here.
Okay. But I see you on your cell phone data pick her up and bring her back to this house here. It was specifically this house. Right? You have a cell phone tower very close to your house, and it puts you right on this house, and you stayed here for a couple hours. So
my phone and her phone.
And both your phones were at your house for a couple hours, and now she's dead. And I
haven't even seen her though.
But you have.
Fernando's repeated denials were threatening to turn the interrogation into a senseless circular exchange, one in which the detective explained repeatedly that he knew for a fact that the two had been together that day. Then Fernando would simply say that wasn't true. The conversation took a turn, however, sometime after the detective suggested to Fernando that a clever criminal would not deny the facts. It made more sense to admit that he had been with Trinity, but then explain that when they parted ways, she was still alive. Perhaps the seed had been planted because after roughly a half an hour, Fernando changed his story. He had more to share, the addition of a new person that had been with them. And of course, the last time he saw Trinity, she was still alive.
And I'm not holding any of the lies that you said against you. Like I told you, I've been doing this a very long time, and I know everyone lies to me. Everyone. So I'm not taking it personal. So just go ahead. Now it's the opportunity that I'm giving you.
Some guy named Jose. I don't know his name. I don't know. But apparently they were talking. She had me pick him up. You know.
She had you pick Jose up?
Yeah.
From where?
It was a Gallatin.
After picking up the mysterious Jose, Fernando was directed to drive to Nashville, then the next location, then the next. For hours, they drove all around Tennessee, always at Jose's instruction.
What does Jose look like?
Like long hair.
How old?
I have no idea, but he looked like 20 something.
Okay.
Fernando told the detective that at just past 9:30 p.m., Jose directed him to pull over on the side of the road so that Trinity could find a spot to urinate in the concealment of the trees. They were near Vietnam Veterans Boulevard in Hendersonville. Trinity and Jose left the car and walked towards the woods, but only Jose returned.
I thought you left her. So I was like, bro, are you not going to go back for her? And he's like, no. I'm like, why? Isn't that your girl? He said, it's my girl, but like.
I will tell you, because I'm honest, I will tell you that I do not believe a word about Jose. Is that it? You want to add anything to it?
While Fernando told his story to detectives, police were taking samples and pulling items from his car. Under the driver's seat, wrapped in a t-shirt, they found a handgun. It was a match to the one that had fired the casing found at the scene off of Veterans Boulevard. In addition, investigators gained access to the car's dash cam. The camera was not running constantly when the car was in drive, but was prompted to record by bumps in the road and other factors, leaving behind an intermittent record of the vehicle's travel history and those inside. On the afternoon of June 29th, the dashcam captured Fernando driving at approximately 2:30 p.m. Trinity was in the passenger seat. She was seen using her cell phone. The location tracking features on her device were being disabled at that time. Trinity was ensuring that her father or others would be unable to use the Find My Phone feature to track her down.
Ready to turn off and find my iPhone?
The couple drove towards Nashville, then back out, covering multiple counties across the state over several hours. The car was captured by license plate readers. The dashcam in the vehicle also provided GPS coordinates of their route. Though the audio was muffled by road noise, the teenagers were captured discussing elements of their plan, pointing out which cars they should follow to potentially steal, and how they might succeed in performing a carjacking. A central concern seemed to be the number of people inside of the targeted vehicles.
What do you think about this song?
Weird.
Where's the
It looks nice. How many people did it though? Let's do typical.
You got hella kids in here.
Oh. What about that one? What about that one?
Just before 6:30 p.m., the couple were recorded once again. This time, they were discussing a vehicle, which they seemed to be actively following. As the car slowed, Fernando adjusted his hoodie. He is then captured reaching for something under his seat. It was his handgun. For a brief moment, it is in view, before he placed it once again just out of sight. Fernando and Trinity's cell phones moved in tandem from mid-afternoon until after 10 p.m. There was, however, a brief period of time in which the devices separated. Fernando placed calls to Trinity on 3 occasions between roughly 8 and 9 p.m. One of their phone calls was connected for 24 minutes. It was unclear what the couple were doing during that time, perhaps attempting to acquire another car, though there was no evidence of a crime or attempted crime taking place. They eventually reunited. The last recording of Trinity alive was made just after 9 p.m. back inside his car. She was once again embracing Fernando. Their phones traveled to the location on Highway 386. Fernando disconnected from the network from 9:54 to 10:14. This was very likely the period of time when the murder took place, because although Trinity's cell phone traveled away from the area, it seems she did not. The dashcam was not activated again until 10:20 p.m. By that time, it was dark inside the car. As the passing lights illuminated the interior of the vehicle, it showed Fernando driving. He was alone.
Like, they disrespected me, they lied to me, they broke their promises. Like, you. Like, what was the point of doing any of that? You know? Stop reminiscing. Stop putting them in your mind. We can choose who's in our mind. We can pick and choose who we want to think about.
The 17-year-old was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. He pleaded not guilty and awaited trial, which commenced in February 2026. Trinity's family attended every day. Her mother, Shelby May, live-streamed updates from outside the courthouse.
And I hope it...
Justice for Trinity Bostik, baby.
Justice for Trinity Bostik. Ain't that right?
Forever 17, but always an angel, baby.
Amen.
Opening statements were brief. The evidence stacked against Fernando Mejia was immense. The text messages, the dashcam video, the matching shell casings, and the murder weapon found in his car. All of this evidence was before jurors were to consider the easily disprovable story he offered to detectives. The now 19-year-old's defense seemed to rest on the fact that the murder itself was not witnessed or recorded.
You're not going to hear witness testimony about them seeing Mr. Mejia shooting Trinity Bostik. That's just not going to be part of the proof. You're going to be asked to make some assumptions based on the evidence that they are going to show.
The theory of the crime proposed by the state took clues from Fernando's Jose story. There was no evidence supporting his assertion that Trinity was involved with another man, nor that any other person had been with them in the car on the night she was killed. There was evidence to suggest that Fernando pulled to the side of the road in order for Trinity to find a private location within the tree line. Prosecutors asserted that Fernando then followed her to the woods with his gun. Then he fired down at her when she was at her most vulnerable. It was unlikely that she had any idea of his intentions. Father Trinity Bostik and Sister Tasia both offered heart-wrenching testimony relating to the last communication that they had with Trinity.
My apologies, Your Honor.
It's okay.
These were her glasses, Trinity's glasses.
Both Timothy and Tasia were aware of Fernando Mejia, but not his continued presence in Trinity's life.
She kissed me on the cheek, I kissed her on the head, and she said, I love you. I said, I love you too. I'll see you in a little bit. I'm not going to work all day. She went into the house, and I stayed there a little while longer and closed everything up, and I went home, and her car was there, keys were there, wallet, all that was there.
So on June 29th of 2024, did you have any idea that she was with Mr. Mejia?
I had no clue what was going on.
Fernando remained largely emotionless throughout the proceedings. At times, however, he appeared to be relaxed, even in good spirits. The young man's lack of visible remorse or distress, even throughout the most graphic presentation of evidence, did not go unnoticed.
I saw a picture of my daughter dead in a field. I didn't see her face, but I saw her legs, I saw her shoes, I saw her arms. And I looked over there at that guy in court, he was smiling. And I'm supposed to forgive that? I don't think so.
Fernando's callousness towards the crime was highlighted by further revelations about his behavior in the aftermath. Evidence showed after Trinity was left in the woods, her ex-boyfriend stopped at a Taco Bell for a slushie on his way home. Days later, this time in a drive-thru for fried chicken with Michaela, he learned that Trinity's body had been found and identified. He smiled and joked around. Fernando did not take the stand to testify. He offered no further statements or explanations. The district attorney generals prosecuting the case, and indeed everyone else, could only speculate as to his motive. They suggested that his desire to conceal his affair with Trinity from his girlfriend Michaela was the pivotal factor.
Now, 17-year-old boy has got a girlfriend, sleeping around with other girls, and he's had a pregnancy scare, right?
Now, the general wants you to think that this earlier text about a pregnancy scare may have somehow, some way started these two on this path where Miss Bostik ended up dead. When I watch these videos, I don't see it. It doesn't add up, because by June the 29th of 2024, that's not an issue. There is no pregnancy. There's nothing to be concerned about. She's already said, I'm not pregnant, by the way. So the state is trying to give you a reason why this happened, to show premeditation.
if they're going to hang their hat on that, I submit to you they haven't done it.
I just hate that boy never gave us no reason. But I told my kids, I think I know. When they were running away together, I think she messed up. When she told that boy that she added his girlfriend on Snapchat. He had a girlfriend. And I believe that boy got to thinking, I messed up. I gotta fix it. I gotta eliminate her before my girlfriend finds out about Trinity. Now, I think that was his reason. He never said it, but I think it was.
Testimony was delivered over only a few days. The defense called no witnesses.
He introduced the gun into this situation, not her. You look at those videos, she's along for the ride. She's in over her head. She made some mistakes. The biggest mistake she ever made was getting involved with that man. He is guilty, ladies and gentlemen, of what he is charged with. And the state of Tennessee would ask you to find him guilty. Thank you.
After the jury left for deliberations, they reached a unanimous decision in just 25 minutes. Guilty of first-degree murder. Trinity's parents and her siblings took turns giving impact statements to the court.
I hope that every night when you lay down in your prison cell, I hope you think about why you can't go get any more Taco Bell, why you can't go get any more food in the middle of the night, why you can't drive your Chrysler 300, why if you were going to commit a crime, you did it in the worst, dumbest way possible. You recorded yourself all day. It was horrible. And I hope you think about not only like how dumb the crime was, but how dumb you were when you did it. And then how you tried to play not guilty. Come on, man.
She loved you with everything she had. That was completely clear in the videos. So much so, she was willing to throw her entire life away to run away with you. She offered to pay for your food and take care of you. And how did you repay her for her good intentions? Her dreams of joining the army, her dreams of becoming an attorney, gone in an instant. Trinity was beautiful and vivacious. She was sweet and one of the best people I've ever known. And I'm sure you can say the same thing.
Because Fernando was a minor when he committed the murder, he was not eligible for the death penalty despite being tried as an adult. He was given life in prison.
Probably last time we're gonna go tonight. I'm mighty tired. I've been here this week waiting for justice, and we got it. But there's one more person I want to talk to. Come on, Tasha, let's go talk. Trinity Lee, he's been sentenced to hell for the rest of his life. We got justice for you, little girl.
Let's talk about life. People tend to hate other people so much. And it's like, dude, our lifespans are so short. Tell me why we continue to hate one another, you know? Life is way too short for all this. Like, I don't understand it. Like, but I guess there's some things that I'm just not meant to understand, you know? People who have seen, like, their loved ones die before them, and it's like, man, they're really strong. Like, how can you do that? Like, how does one see their loved ones die and then still push forward? That's the kind of energy I want. Like, I want to be able to push forward even in the toughest times, you know?
And that was the tragic case of Trinity Bostik. Thank you for joining me, and as always, I would like to offer a welcome this week to our newest Sherlock Holmes members: Bridget Butler, Jendai, Joy Telemac Harris, Beautiful Disaster, Loving My Lord, Jessica Hamilton, Monique Solis, Christina James, Yes, It's Just Gia, and JG Spencer. Welcome to the lounge. I'm Kevin. This is Just Thought Lounge, and I'll see you in the next one.
We talk in the comments, they jot in a few lines. Tune in and hit like, love that, it's too kind. Feels like the whole world is online for true crime. Watch them on a run, but it's not a race. Really hard to disappear, poof without a trace. Sherlock Holmes with it, I put you in your place. Got my smoking pipe, only right, I crack another case like